Hello, I'm Steve Gladis, and today we're going to review Dan Pink's book. It's a great book, this new book called To Sell is Human. I highly recommend it to folks because all of us are really involved in sales. And this is what Dan's whole point is. He said that most of us spend about 40% of our time in non-sales sales. In other words, while 1 in 9 of us actually sells for a living, all of us spend around 40% of our time marketing ourselves. And it makes sense, therefore, to study a book like this. But what makes sense to me about actually having this book, and I'll switch to Amazon to show you what the book looks like. There it is, Dan Pink, on sale at Amazon. Lots of reviews already done on this one. Roughly speaking, it looks like there's about 112 reviews that have already been done. And worthwhile book to read. Recommend it at a 5-star level out of 5. One of the points he brings up in this book is that we are all out there selling, but a lot of us don't really know how to approach it, so we approach it as we used to sell, which is caveat emptor. That means that buyer beware. Now, Pink is saying, now that the playing field is level, that in other words, the buyer has as much as the seller, it's caveat venditor, he calls it, where the vendor needs to be wary and much more differently attuned. In the old days, it was the ABCs of selling were always be closing, because it was always the salesman against the client or the customer. Now it's agility, buoyancy, and clarity, and he explains all these in great detail for you. And it's a book that's completely backed by research, which is why I like Dan's work. He spent a year researching social science in great depth, and I'm a big believer in research before you write about it, and he's done a terrific job of that, of substantiating everything he's done. I think one of the most interesting statistics he mentioned was that 40%, that's 40% of the kids that are folks that are between 18 and 34, not kids, but 18 and 34, are not interested in working for anybody else. In fact, are interested in being entrepreneurs. And the second statistic was by the year 2020, which is not that far away, 5 more years, or 7 more years, that most of the people employed will be entrepreneurs, which means they're going to be selling and pitching all the time. And there's a whole section in this book about pitching. It's called Sell is Human. It's by Dan Pink. He's done it again. It's already a New York Times bestseller. I suggest you read it and enjoy it. This is Steve Gladis. We'll be reviewing it in depth on my blog called Survival Leadership sometime at the end of this month or early next month. Thanks very much, and do well.